今夕何夕兮剑走不中今日何日兮东望子东走梦袖背好行四个公主心机房而不觉心可知山有木兮不由自兮喜悦居心居
My name is Jack Porter, and I'm responsible for this series, Jack's Tea Party. I came down to Florida. Need to get some inspiration. I wanted to make one more video. Basically, who am I and what am I doing here? Why am I making these videos? And why do I think I know something about Traverse City area government? Well, I was a township supervisor for 12 years in 1992, well, ending 1980 to 1992, and I learned a lot about government, and I was just going to move on in I think 2006. I had my house up for sale, and I've been out of politics. I showed up periodically on issues of particular interest, but most of the time people would run the town the way they wanted to. They didn't need my help. Let the new elected people do what they wanted to do. But I tried to leave. I tried to sell my house, and I was interrupted. My township had cited me for a zoning violation, and as I looked into it, what the basis of that violation was, it was nonsense. It had a tiny little dock, and in an area where we had docks for 30 years, as far as I know. I got a picture of my dog that was taken in 1983. That's, what is that, 23, 24 years before I was cited. There were docks in that area. But all of a sudden they found an attorney interpretation that called for these kind of situations to be violations. But they only cited me. I think maybe they just had a complaint on me. Anyway, There were docs all over the region that were similarly situated, but they wrote me up, and I got sucked into Dragnet. They had and for about a year they'd been taking the numbers off of boats in the area and trying to decide whether people should have a right to have a boat on the lake or parked overnight on the lake. Very complex legal situation. And as I dug into it, well, I couldn't sell my house because of the zoning violation pending, and so I stayed in Traverse City. And over the coming years, I tried to find out what's going on here. And it was a case of lawyers basically giving advice that led to more legal opinions. Maybe zoning administrators as well. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. I've known all along that there were far too many townships and city and county government, a lot of boards, all employing attorneys and engineers, all getting legal opinions and professional studies, and these were not helping the community. Basically, the conflict created was holding the community back. So in 2010, I decided to go back and do some teaching in China, but before I left, I decided to really dig into this. I'd been thinking about these ideas and talking to people periodically, but I thought I better document it, what I was thinking, what I learned, and what I would recommend. I saw the Brown Bridge Pond was drained by a process that really was not a governmental process. It was a consortium of special interests, almost working around the governments, it seemed like, not formally involving East Bay Township or Paradise Township, two units of government that had Brown Bridge Pond. So that was my first video. Then I did another one called History of the United States, where it basically lays out the reasoning behind why do we have such a fragmented governmental system, and it actually relates back to the creation of the country and the way we grew, and in particular the race problems, the racial composition of the cities, and the need to have a local control of government. The next one, I met with Larry Merrill of Michigan Townships Association. Talked to him about the issues that had to do with what I consider to be fragmented government, and he had his own ideas about what he thought was right. So we had a nice little difference of opinion, a very courteous difference of opinion. I've known Larry for 30 years, and he is just a top-notch administrator. So that was a good talk where we discussed the issues. Then another one showed me just getting very active locally with the local government. I call it tragic government, and it lays out why I think that local government is out of control. And in fact, local government, if we can't handle the local government properly, how can we expect to handle the state government or the federal government? There's a much larger, much more complex. But in that video, Tragic Government, I present the case. Part of it was presented by Bill Gates at a TED conference, where he talked about the problems with the local government and the amount of money that's being spent on government. And basically, we have a 36% of our gross domestic product in the U.S. spent on government services at all levels. Half of that is state and local government. Half of state and local government is local government. And that's where I think the biggest advantages, the biggest savings can be made. So that was an effort on my part of trying to get the local units of government to start talking about this. Can we do a better job? And there's one case that I think was successful. Larry Merrill didn't particularly think it was successful, but I thought the annexation of Battle Creek Township by the city of Battle Creek was a good case study. So I took a long time to study this, and I actually went down to Battle Creek. I went down to Battle Creek and I got some of the old timers. 30 years ago, they'd all cooperated on getting this annexation in place. There was a city commissioner, a township government guy, there was a couple of attorneys that were involved, and we had a nice talk about what happened. Also, I talked to an individual that was involved in annexation. He was actually a member of the state boundary commission, and so he's very familiar with the laws and the things that could be done to make our local government better. So my question is, what can we do about local government? If we can do a better job, save some money, provide better services, why shouldn't we do that? Because we need the money. We can't just be throwing money away. We can't just be spending money on legal opinions whenever we talk about doing something. In government positions, they just do studies to decide whether they want to do something. We spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on studies just to try to decide whether we should do something. The money allocated to do things is being used on studies to decide what to do. Well, anyway, that's the reason I've made this video. That's why I've come down to Florida to try to get some rest and relaxation. It's 11 degrees in Traverse City. It's about, kind of hot. It's about 80 degrees right now, getting towards the end of the day. And so I thought, well, let's go for it. Let's see if I can get inspired and give it one more try. By the way, I do have a website that has all of these videos and a few more called JaxTeaParty of Traverse City. It's a Facebook video. It's a Facebook video, www.facebook.com/JaxTeaParty of TC. It's of TC. So anyway, check out that website. I've got more than one interest. Local government is one of them. Like I was saying, local government is one interest. I think working with young people is very important. What are we doing for the young people? That's what we need to be worried about. Most people are worried about what government's doing for them. I think we need to be worried about what are we doing for the young people. We need to leave them a better situation than was left to us. I'm not sure that we're doing that right now. Another interest I have is technology. I think technology is very important in promoting the human race and making life better for us. So you find all of those things on that website, facebook.com/JaxTeaParty of TC. Well, I'm back in northern Michigan. I went from 60 or 65 degree weather to negative 15 or 20 up here. It's really invigorating. Those people in Florida, they don't appreciate what they're missing here, because This is a very beautiful time of year, and the weather is exciting and invigorating. And anyway, I'm back here. I'm finishing up the video. Uh, what are the final words to this introduction? Uh, Basically, my question that I asked County Commission once, and I'm asking everybody, is this the system of government, this system of local government that we have in the Traverse City area, is this the best that we can do? We're going to hand a system of government down to the young people, and everything is so complicated nowadays. We're really dumping a lot on these young people. And is this system of government we have here locally, is this the best that we can do? Is it the best process that we can come up with for democratic government? Well, I hope we can do a better job. And think about, what system are we handing down to the young people? And if it isn't the best that we can think of, if it isn't the best we can do, why don't we change it? Why don't we just start talking about changing our local government to something that they're proud of, something that everybody wants to participate in? I think this is the way to go. Just bashing the government, bashing people who step forward to work in the government, this isn't getting us anywhere. We need people being committed at the local level, and it can't come from what we call politicians. People who hold office now are not in a position to advocate big changes. They already have the positions that they're working on, and so it's really a difficult thing for them to take a position of saying that what they're doing now isn't the best that can be done. So I think that's the way to sum it up. Look at all this information if you have the time and care about your local government, care about making democracy work. Well, check it out. Talk to people. Talk to people in government. Talk to your friends. Try to get some movement going. How do we make this system better? Let's make it the best system of government in the world, and show everybody that this kind of government really does work. Thanks for watching.